No, I'm not a writer.
Okay. The first thing I want to get started with is, and this is optional, if you want to roast it, it brings out a better texture and flavor in my humble opinion. If not, you can peel it and cube it and add it directly to the soup. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I have here one butternut squash, it's about 1 pound. And all I did, I cut it in half and I removed the seeds and the inside core part of it. I'm just gonna hit that with a little drizzle. Not too much of olive oil, and I'm gonna pass my hands after. Well, we can do that right now. I'm just gonna pass my hands and my fingers on there like this with the olive oil on there. I'm just gonna go with a tiny bit of salt. Don't go too heavy. I'm just gonna pull out this natural sweetness, and of course some fresh ground black pepper. If my voice seems different, I've been sick for the past month or so, so this is why you're not seeing too many videos lately. What we're gonna do is stick this in the oven now, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, I apologize, so 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and let that roast. Next up in your soup pot, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about 1.5 to 2 pounds of beef, and you can see it's about 1 inch or so in pieces, and I cut it up. All it was a cheaper, well, cheap and beef and steak, it just doesn't fit on the same sentence anymore. But a cheaper cut of beef if you can get it. In this case, it was a sirloin. No seasoning, no salt, no pepper. I know what you're thinking. Chris, in the Caribbean, we usually season and marinate our meats. Now, typically, I would season this with green seasoning, Caribbean green seasoning. But I don't want this green seasoning to burn, because when you burn herbs, when you're at high heat, it's going to burn it. It's going to become sort of bitter. Now, here's the thing. If you wanted to do this in batches, because you notice how much liquid it's sprouted out there, you can do this. You can do that. Totally up to you if you wanted to really get a nice deep dark browning color on it. I'm not too worried about it. This is a soup. This is going to be boiling in any event, so I'm not too worried about that. So all I want to do is sort of burn off all of that liquid there, give it a slight bit of color, and then we'll continue. In the meanwhile, you want to prep your vegetables, your onions, your celery, your scallion, thyme, garlic, and the full list of ingredients, as always, will be available, the printable recipe that is, on CaribbeanPot.com. Most of that liquid is time to burn off, so I'm going to go in with 2 stalks of celery, leaves and everything, a large onion, just diced up roughly. Now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I am using boneless beef here, but if you wanted to use beef bones, and I have a soup with roasted beef bones on CaribbeanPot.com. If you want to check that recipe out, I highly encourage you to check it out. It is a beautiful recipe. The roasting of the bones just makes it so much better. A nice big piece of ginger. I'm just going to put that ginger in there. And I like, instead of grating the ginger in there, you'll notice it's like about a thumb-sized piece that I just smashed with my knife, because later on I can fish that out. I know a lot of people don't like chewing into ginger, so it'll be easy to remove. I also want to go in with some fresh thyme, and though you're gonna see me putting like thyme and scallion and all those different things in here, I will also add Caribbean green seasoning. And Caribbean green seasoning, this is 1.5 tablespoons, and it's really thick. If you head over to CaribbeanPot.com, you'll understand why it's so thick, and because, you know, basically I use olive oil as the base for it, and it's sort of a blend or a puree of all the herbs we like using, along with garlic and pimento or seasoning peppers. And you can be as creative as you want with the herbs that you use in it, and you would either keep it in the fridge or in the freezer, you know, and you always have it, and it goes into just about everything we cook basically. So in goes that Caribbean green seasoning. I want some whole cloves of garlic in there, and that's going to break down, as you know, this is going to take 1.5 hours at least to really come together, to get that beef nice and tender, to make sure the lentils are nice and plump. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. Whether I you know, and if you wanted to smash the garlic, you can go ahead and smash the garlic, totally up to you. In goes the lentils, and that's 1 cup of lentils. You know, and it looks dry there, but I washed it in advance, and I did a quick look through. You know, I grew up in the Caribbean, so we're always looking through rice and lentils and beans and peas and all that to make sure there's no debris or stones or anything in there. So this is sort of the base of the soup here. This is where the body is going to come. Well, the body is going to come from sweet potato, carrots, all those different things. But what I want to do now is to, you know, give that a good stir, just to combine everything. Always mindful with this pot that the handles go very hot on me, so you can see all of that. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't add the Caribbean green seasoning at the very start. It's because I don't want to burn that. Yeah, once you burn that, all those herbs in there, that's just going to go bitter and foul, and it's going to ruin everything. We don't want you to ruin what you've got started over here. And there's quite a few other things I want to put in here, but remember, you can be as creative as you want. There is one medium carrot that I gave a rough chop to, just a sort of a dice. Now we need liquid. Traditionally in the Caribbean, and this is where if you use the beef bones, you would get a lot more flavor. We would use water. I am not using water. I'll be using beef stock because I really want to fortify this. I haven't been feeling well for the entire year, so I'm trying to, and this is why I have the ginger, the thyme, the garlic, all those, the celery. Yo man, all those things will help me fight this, whatever it is I'm dealing with for the last little while. What I also want in there, and I like it spicy, I'm going to tuck in a Scotch bonnet pepper in there. I'm going to break that later on. Don't break it if you don't want to release that Caribbean sunshine, that Caribbean heat, because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that does not mess around. And if you do cut it before you're putting it, so let's say you cut quarter or whatever, wash your hands immediately after, because yes, the oils will do some, it will burn you no matter where you touch. Before we do, let's go with some salt. Later on we can adjust the salt to our liking, because since I'm using beef stock, which will have a sort of a sodium element to it, I always have to be mindful of that. And I'm going to go in with about 6 cups of beef stock, and if I need more liquid later on, I will add water. But for now, I'm adding the beef stock. And before I add the final 3 cups of beef stock, I want to go in with 1 can of stewed tomato, and that is a sort of a seasoned tomato. If you have rotel, you can do that. This can is 540 ml. In goes the final 3 cups of beef stock. And I also want to add 1 can of coconut milk. Sorry. So that's about 1.5 cups of coconut milk. All we're going to do now, give that a stir, bring that up to a boil, and later on we will add that roasted butternut squash in here. If you want, if you wanted to add dumplings, you can add flour dumplings, cassava dumpling, whatever dumpling you like, cornmeal dumplings, all up to you, yeah? I'm also going to add just some normal everyday potato and some sweet potato. Again, if you wanted to add green cooking banana in here, those dasheen, yam, all those things, yes, you can personalize this to any which way you want. But for now, we want to bring this up to a boil and reduce it to a rolling boil. As we wait for it to come up to a boil, I want some fresh ground black pepper in there. And you will notice, just as our grandparents would have, or forefathers would have, there is no Maggi in here. There is no all-purpose seasoning. There's no powdered stuff. The garlic is fresh, the onion is fresh, all those things are nice and fresh. I just like keeping it true to how it was passed on to us like that. So this beef and lentil soup, I mean to say, we gotta stick to our roots, man. 35 minutes in the oven, and the butternut squash is nice and roasted, and all those sort of charred bits that you're seeing there, that's all the caramelization of the natural sugars in there. What I'm gonna do is allow it to cool down, then I'm gonna go in with my tablespoon and I'm just gonna scoop all of the flesh out and add it to the soup, and that's going to help create that nice thickness, that nice body, bring that sweetness into the game. And again, remember, this is also supposed to be a fortifying beef soup, so of course we're adding all these wonderful ingredients in there. It's been going for about 20 minutes on that rolling boil. The butternut squash has had time to cool down, so all I'm doing is grabbing big spoonfuls like that, and I'm just going to plop it in there. Now if you want to keep this so it doesn't dissolve in the soup, you can add it near the end, but the point is I want this to help create that body and add that sweetness to the soup as it cooks. So I'm going to just scoop everything out in there, continue cooking it. I will need more liquid, but later on we will add that because I want to add some sweet potato and a couple of potatoes as well, regular potatoes. It's been 1 hour on that rolling boil. I did end up adding 4 cups of water during the entire time. I may end up adding another cup or 2, who knows. But you can see the butternut squash is starting to fall apart, and if you see at this point the garlic that's still whole, all you want to do is I'll just show you here, you push it to the side and you hit them with a little smash. That's going to release all that garlic flavor in there. The other thing is, remember I told you all, you can keep the Scotch bonnet pepper whole, but in my case now I want that fire, I want that Caribbean sunshine, so I'm going to pop that and let that burst, and it's all kind of niceness happening in there because I like it spicy, as I said. Now, if you come across the piece of ginger, which I will certainly come across sooner or later, you can fish it out at this point. It's been an hour. It's done its thing. The other sort of flavor, if you wanted to add in here, is a bay leaf or 2. What I'm going to do is let this go for another 20 minutes because I want that beef nice and tender. And then what I have here is 5 small potatoes and 1 medium sweet potato that I just cut up into pieces. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I want to show you what I went ahead and did. I removed that big chunk of ginger and all the sprigs of thyme. I went ahead and, well, you would have seen me break that Scotch bonnet pepper. So what I want to do now, and you know, you gotta really keep an eye on the liquid level and the consistency as well, because you still gotta put the potatoes in there. And if you're putting yam, dasheen, cassava, any one of those things, now is when I would put it, because you don't want to overcook it and it's gonna break apart and fall apart, and then this is gonna become porridge. We're not making porridge, we're making a beef lentil soup. So in goes the sweet potato along with the potato in there. After about 30 minutes, then we'll taste and adjust the salt to the sort of, to your own liking, yeah? But the point is, we're almost there. Low and slow, but that's the foundation of a good meal. Now if you wanted to use a pressure cooker or anything like that, even a slow cooker, well, slow cooker, you're looking at about 6 hours. But it's one of them things, yeah? This is pure comfort. Look at the consistency and texture and everything else. I'm gonna add some more liquid though. It's been 1 hour and 45 minutes in total. Everything is nice and cooked. If you wanted to add flour dumplings, the last 15 minutes is when you would add it. Yo man, I'm gonna choose not to. Yeah, I'm a bit lazy. I don't really feel like needing flour. What it does need, taste it and adjust the salt. I do know it needs a tiny bit more salt. And I like to finish off with some black pepper. Is a combination of scallion and parsley just to brighten it up. I'm going to turn off the stove and give it a good mix, and that's about it. Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. As I mentioned, I've been dealing with the flu and the viruses and everything, and this here beef and lentil soup is just the thing I need. So I do hope you get the opportunity, even though if you're not sick, it is soup season, by the way. See, they're nice and tender. Oh, that tasting good too, boy. Oh gosh, Uncle Chris, you're getting on, Rasta. Anyhow, I do hope you get an opportunity to give this one a try, because as I said, this thing here, not only is it packed with all kind of nutrients and all that, but it's very tasty as well. Freeze the remainder, and all you gotta do is throw it out on those evenings you come home from work, and you have a nice big hearty bowl of soup. Alright, I go on with the flour dumplings, so I wish I wasn't so lazy, Anyhow, I go on, yes boy.